Mm, without having any uh,
No,
changes like.
because of the new changes, it might have affected what? Old changes, and
Yes, yes, yes,
testing of that old changes again is called as regression testing. Okay.
yes.
So it's defined as re-executing the old test cases across multiple releases or builds to make sure that the changes has not affected the existing functionality. Am I clear, guys? Yes.
Yes.
So what happened, guys, in regression testing? So what happened in regression testing with respect to ETL testing? This is table 1. After ETL process, ETL mechanism, this is table 1. There are changes which has been done in this table, and this is loaded after this ETL process. Now, the changes what is happening in table 1. So we don't know the previous table, if what was that. So that what we do is we create a backup table. So this, his name is backup table, BSEKI table. So what we did, you know how to create backup table. I told you create table name as select star from table. Do you remember that? Yes. So we have created a backup table, and then what we did, guys, this is the main table. Okay. Now we did the ETL mechanism and loaded the data. So now what we will do is this is loaded, this is the target, this is the source. We can do the verification. And is there any changes in the source table? How can we validate? We can validate from the backup table. So this is what is regression testing. Because of the new features, there is new features in this now table 1. It might have affected what? Old features. Suppose in table 1 any effect is happened. So how can we know that table 1 got affected or it did not got affected? How we can do? By creating a backup table. Am I clear, guys? And then checking the data from the backup table, okay, to the old table. Am I clear, guys? Yes or no? Yes. Tell me, guys, yes or no? Yes. What is happening? This is table 1, ETL process. Table 1 is loaded with some changes. Now, because of these changes in the target, it might have affected the existing feature of table 1. So what we did before doing that ETL mechanism, we created a backup table. Now, after all this ETL process, if we want to test that any changes has happened in this table 1, we can just check with the backup table, putting what? Backup table minus this table 1. Am I clear, guys? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Any doubts? Yes. So what happened? What? Because of the new feature, it has not affected the old feature. So what we do, guys, is we'll test what? The old features again. That is why it is called as what? Backup table. Okay. That is why it's called as what? Backup table, and we test that features again. Okay, fine. Now what we do is table A, create the backup of the table, and create the backup of the table A. How can we create the backup of the table A? Can you just tell me? Suppose this is a table EMP. If I want to create the backup of the table EMP, what I will do? Create table name. I select star from EMP. Yes or no, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Now it is having all the records of which table? If I want to create the backup of EMP table, what I will do? Create table. Suppose backup table BSEKI as select star from EMP. Now what happened, guys? One table is created. One table is created whose name is what, guys? BSEKI. Okay. Now what will happen? We will load the data through ETL mechanism. Now after loading the data, what will happen, guys? In the target, which table is loaded? In the target, this table EMP is loaded. EMP is loaded in the target. Now because of this loading process, it has not affected what? The base which table? EMP table. And to check that, what we can do, guys? Check that what we can do. Select star from backup table minus which table? Select star from EMP table. Yes or no,
EMP
guys?
table.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine. Yes. Are you able to understand? Yes. Hey, hi, Kirti.
Hi, Vikram.
What happened? You have to join on time, okay?
Yes.
Simple. This is simple. This is the table one was there. Okay, with the ETL process is got loaded in the target table T1 only. Now, because of this loading and all, it might have affected some of the data in this table one. Table will have what? Rows and columns. Yes or no, guys? Some
Yes.
data might have changed because of this ETL process. So what we did, we created a backup table, and then what we are doing, backup minus the base table, so that there is no changes in the base table. That is what is the ETL mechanism. That is what I have written here. No. Now what will happen, guys? This is what is the regression testing. So you have to remember what is that. Because of the new features, it has not affected the old features, and testing of the old features again is called as regression testing. This is with respect to the ETL. What is that? There's a table A. Okay. Table A not, will consider it as table EMP. There's a table EMP. So what happened? The step one is there's table EMP. We'll create the backup of EMP table. How to create the backup of EMP table? Create table name as select star from EMP. One table is created. Okay. Whose name is what, guys? BC key, and is having the exact data as EMP table. Okay, fine. Now what will happen? Load the data through ETL mechanism. The target EMP is loaded in the target. Okay. Now what will happen? Load the data through ETL mechanism. What will happen? These data which are in the backup table, or what will in the EMP table will be loaded into the target table. Because of the loading process, it has not affected the base EMP table. So how to check that? And to check that, what we'll do, select star from backup minus select star from EMP. This is the main query. Yes or no, guys? Tell me, guys, any doubts here? Any doubts here?
Vikram, I have one doubt here. So you when you are creating the backup table, so the backup table which is created from the original employee table, or that
Yeah, original
table?
employee table, original employee table. See,
So
yeah, tell me.
then original employee table and backup table would be same, right?
No. How you're telling change? Because of the loading of the data, okay? He has written some.
Mechanism.
He is loading the data from the EMP table to the target table. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Now, in loading the data from the EMP table to the target table, okay, there can be some changes which, because of these changes, it might have affected the EMP table. Suppose deleting of 4 records. Okay, there are 100 records. Okay. Now from the base table, a logic is written what 4 records will be deleted and it will be loaded into the target table. Okay. Now instead of doing that, he has written some logic. Now the data from the base table is getting deleted. 4 records are deleted and then loaded into the target table. Now the EMP table is affected, right? The base table is affected because 4 records from the base table only got deleted. Yes or no? And he committed it permanently. Now I don't know the base table is correct or not. So what we will do? We have already kept a backup table. Now we can do backup minus the base table, and then we can get the output should be no rows selected. And if there are some records coming, that means what? There is some changes which has been done to the EMP table, and that we can tell that we have found the issues in the during the regression test.
So Vikram, always whenever we are performing any testing in the ETL, we always need to take the backup of the original table, always.
No, only at the time of new features and during the regression testing. Okay, first release, you did the first release completely. I told you, no, release wise, you remember. Once release 1 is completely done, all the tables are tested and everything is done. Now what do you do? Now at the second time when you are doing some changes in a table and all, then what will happen? That time for a particular table, we'll just create a backup table and then do the changes. That is what is the regression test. It will not take much time. Here we have to write this query, okay? So it will not take much time, and there are many tools, where there is directly an option to just right click and do the backup or copy the data from the table. So that is
Here,
also fine. But you just use this. This is not a very difficult query. Select the star from that backup. Sorry, this is not for creating the backup table. Yeah, you remember this query. What is this query? Create table name as select star from UMP, and you can create the backup. That's all is the query.
okay, here new feature is updating the logic.
Yes. Now there are 100 records in a table that was tested. It was released to the client. Now he has come with some changes. Okay, that I want the salary to be incremented 10%, and all those changes he has come. Now because of these changes, it has been implemented. Now it will be implemented in the base table. Now because of this ETL logic and all, it might have affected. It is also possible that it might not have affected the existing functionality. But to make sure that, what we'll do, we'll first create a backup table, then load the data, and then we can just verify from the backup table to the main table. Any doubts, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Any doubts, guys? Samyukta. Are you clear with this regression testing? They will ask you how we do regression testing in ETL testing. What we will do? First, we will create a backup table of the base table, then load the data from the base table to the target table, and then this backup table can be compared with the source table. That because of this ETL mechanism, it has done any changes. So we can do the backup table minus the base table, or base table minus the backup table, and then we can validate the any changes are there. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Main thing is the count validation and data validation. This is data validation. Count validation is select count star from backup table and select. Can you tell me count? Can you tell me the queries, everyone? Count star from which table? EMP table.
EMP.
Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now, guys, the next thing is user acceptance testing. This is a testing done by whom? Customers before accepting the product. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Now, this is testing done by the customer before accepting the product. So what will happen, guys, here is, now generally this is a testing in UAT. In a manual testing, what happens is, if especially the females and all, if they will buy any product, what happens if they want to buy a shoe? What they will do is that, first of all, they will go to the showroom of that shoe. Suppose it is Adidas or Reebok, and then what is a sandal and all, and then what they will do is they will wear it, then they will move, and then finally they will buy it. So it is not that the Reebok shoe or the Adidas shoe or any other brand shoes are not being tested. That is already tested. But what happens for a customer point of view? What happens? Customer gets satisfied from his understanding, from his satisfaction level. That is called as what? User acceptance testing. So this testing is done by whom? By the customer when? Before accepting the product. Am I clear till this much?
Yes.
So customer will test according to what? According to the business scenario point of view. So suppose the color, font, and all those things they can check. Okay. Now UAT is done by the customer in 3 ways. Okay, guys, what are the ways? First is what? UAT done by customer test engineer with respect to application. I'm telling. Suppose a UAT on a particular company whose name is Wipro. Okay. Now Wipro developed an application. Okay. Now what will happen, guys? Application is developed. Now it went to the testing and all, everything is done. Now IBM is the client. Now IBM, what they have given Wipro to develop the application is developed, came to IBM. Now IBM, what they will do? They will do user acceptance testing. How they will do? They will have their test engineers, and then IBM test engineers will test that application. And if any issues are there, they need to fix it. This is what UAT done by the customer. customer test engineer. Now, what is the second thing? Now, IBM test engineers are busy, and Wipro, this is what, not India's Wipro. This is what US Visa. USA Wipro. Now, what will happen? The test engineers in IBM are now see, now this is what, no, this is the customer. This is the customer. Okay, sorry. This is the customer. Now they are in what? USA. Okay, so now what they will do is, my engineers are busy, so can you send your engineers in my location? This is called on-site, guys. Everyone one wants on-site in their life. Why? Why people want on-site? Because that is the best period of their life. Why? Because that time they will earn, right? Yes or no? Yes. So in on-site, what will happen? People will get the money in dollars. Okay, that is what is the always every engineer once in life definitely they want to go to on-site and earn money, irrespective of they're married, not married. If they get an opportunity, then definitely they will go and earn and learn. Both the things are there. So what happened, guys? What happens now at that case? Wipro developed the application. Now IBM is the client. They are in US. So what happened? They are testing as a busy. They will tell what, send two test engineers and two developers from your organization to our organization. That is done by what? UAT done by the what is that? UAT done by the company employees at the customer place. So this company's test engineer, these people will be very happy that time. This test engineer, this test engineers, and this developer, they will go from the company to the client and do the user acceptance testing. This is called on-site. And next is what now IBM is having, what test engineers, not they have the old employees who was working from 10 years, 15 years on the same application. They will give to their customers to do the user acceptance testing. This is called as UAT done by the customers. Okay, UAT done by the customers before accepting the product. So, any doubt, guys, in UAT?
No.
No. So what will happen in UAT also? See, again, now a BI report is developed. Okay. Now what will happen, guys? BI report is developed and is sent to the client. Now what will happen? Now client will do the UAT testing, okay, on the BI report. So what they will do is, guys, they will test in many ways. What they will do, they will also test the UI, that is user interface. They will also test the data, okay, the actual data, okay. All these things will be done by, again, by the client. So if they find any issues, that is called as what? Failure. Failure means what, guys? The defect which we were not able to find out and the client has found that during the UAT testing. That is called as failure. Am I clear till this much? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
If you have understood this much, there are testing done in a, what are the testing done in a data warehouse project? And while preparing the test strategy or test plan, you should always remember. Apart from this, there's no testing in ETL testing. There are 9 kinds of testing, guys. This is exclusively told by VTS. There are 9 kinds of testing. Data completeness testing, that means the count validation. Data validation testing, that means the minus validation. Data quality testing, that is rounding of the data. First letter should be capital, there should not be any chunk. Initial load validation, incremental load validation. Integration testing, that means data is moving from one layer to the another, and that is called as integration testing. Regression testing, I told you, because of the new feature, it might have affected the old feature, and testing that old feature. Next is the BI report testing. This is the actually the end product. This we will learn how to test a report. And last is what? User acceptance testing, where they will test the application according to the customer's
Business
point
model.
of view, according to the business scenario. These are 9 testing in any ETL testing project, any data warehouse project. There's no other testing apart from that. Any questions? Any questions?
No.
No? Fine. Before I go to BI report validation, guys, and what are the defects in yeah, I want to start your data modeling, okay, so that you understand. Okay? So data modeling is what? Modeling the data warehouse, and to model the data warehouse, you have to understand the model of the architecture, how the tables are arranged in a particular data warehouse system. I told you in Oltp, that is online transactional processing system, Oltp system, how the tables are arranged. Can you just tell me? Using what, guys? Erd diagram. Do you remember that? Erd diagram, entity relationship diagram. That means what, guys? Table 1 is joined to table 2. This is 1-to-1 relationship. Table 1 is joined to multiple tables. That is called as what? One-to-many relationship. Now I told you what? Many-to-many relationship. That means table 1 is also joined to table 2, and this again table 1 is joined to what? Table 4, table 5, and table 6. And again table 2 is joined to table 7, table 8. So this is called as what? Many-to-many relationship. Many tables are joined to many tables. Now this is Erd diagram in Oltp system. Now in Olp system, the data modeling is different. They will 100% ask what is the data modeling in a data warehousing system. In a data warehouse system, how is the data modeling done? So there are two kinds of table. One is what, guys? Fact table, and one is what, guys? Dimension table. Anyone has heard about this fact and dimension table? Any idea? What about Kirti? Any idea?
Yes, in fact table we have a figure related column, right? In the
Yes.
dimension we have some attribute column.
Okay. Thank you. So fact table will have fact value. Fact value means what, guys? Numeric value. Will have what? Numeric values. Dimension table will have got, guys? Will have descriptive value. Like, guys, now first of all understand, in fact table, numeric values means what? Sales. This is one. A numeric value. Quantity. This is another numeric value. And dimension table will have the description. Description, like the sales is happening for which product. So product name. Then it is happening for this product description. So this is what, guys, is called as what? Dimension and the fact table. If you need a descriptive values, then you go to dimension table. If you want the numeric values, you'll go to the fact table. Fine, guys. Now what will happen, guys, is this. If you have understood, now you have to understand in detail. Now in this fact tables, suppose a sales is happening 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 for the 3,030. So for a particular product whose product ID is, suppose this is a 1, this is what 2, and this is what, guys? 3. So this is a key column. This is a key column. We will call it as a key column, because this product ID will be joined to which table? Dimension table. which is having the product description. Suppose the product description is what? Product name is there, okay? Product name. Suppose let us just write down product. The table name, dimension table name is product. Fact table name is what? Sales. Now product is having, suppose, product name, product description, product ID. This is again a key column. Now product name is Lux soap. Okay. Or let us take our jeans. Jeans. Product description is, this is from the Lee showroom. Okay. Product ID is 1. Okay. And then product name is, suppose, a product name is, suppose, a t-shirt. Adidas. Product ID is 2. Jacket. Now it is from a different brand. Suppose it's a brand from Van Heusen or Raymond. R-A-M-O-U-N-D. Raymond. R-A-Y. So now his ID is 3. So now guys, if you see the dimension table and fact table. Now fact table whose name is sales is having the sales and the key column product ID 1, 2, 3. Dimension table is the product table which is having the product name, product description and the product ID. Now this fact and this dimension table will be joined or not? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Based on which column? Product ID column. So this is, guys, the surrogate key. This is what is the surrogate key. Suppose this product ID is a surrogate key. This is a surrogate key. This and this can be joined. Now this product table, now which is the parent, which is the child table? Can you just tell me? This is always asked. Which is the parent table and which is the child table? Yes. And which is the primary key column and what is the foreign key column? Can you just tell me? Which is the parent table? Yes, guys. Which is the parent table?
Dimension table.
Yes. So product table is the parent table. Which is the child table?
Sales.
Sales. Which is the primary key column in the parent table?
Product ID.
What is the foreign key column in the child table?
Product ID.
So my question to you is, Kirti, which table would be loaded first?
Parent table.
That means which table?
Product table.
Dimension table. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Always ask which is the first table loaded, dimension or fact table. Which is first table loaded? Dimension table. And I told you something called as referential integrity. Do you remember that, guys? Integrity constraint. Tell me yes or no. What I told.
Yes.
Always, if our data is already present in the parent table and we want to enter the data in the child table, it will verify from which column, which table? Parent table, primary key column. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Yes or no? Yes or no, Kirti? If suppose a particular sales needs to be entered, whose sale is 4,000 and product ID is 5. Product ID is 4, suppose. Can it be entered? No. It cannot be entered. Yes or no, guys? Guys, can you give me the answer? Kirti, can it be entered? It cannot
Can you
be.
repeat one more time?
Huh?
Can you repeat one more time?
I told you there is something called as referential integrity constraint error whenever we join the tables. And what I told is that The data which we want to enter first should be entered into the parent table, and then based on that, the data will be entered into the child table. So now this I already have explained. So what I am telling is, this is a child table. I'm entering the sales as 4,000 and product ID as 4. Can it be entered? No, because it will be verified from which table? Yes, Kirti, it will be verified from which table?
From child table only. Product. No, sorry, parent table.
Which column?
Product ID.
So is the 4 present?
No.
Will it be entered?
No.
It cannot be entered, and an error message will be displayed. What is that error message?
Referential integrity constraint missing.
Referential integrity constraint error. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
So if the data needs to be entered into the child table, first you have to make an entry where? In the parent table or not? Yes. If I would have made a product, suppose shoes, and product is suppose anyone, suppose it is a Reebok shoes and product ID 4, then I could have entered in the child table. Yes or no?
Yes.
Did you got some understanding what is which are the two kinds of table in data warehousing? Just first of all, which question? Which are the two types of tables present in data warehouse system? Can you just tell me which are the two types of table present in data warehouse system? Fact and
Dimension.
Now, what is the relationship between fact and dimension table? Primary key and foreign key.
Foreign key.
Which table is loaded first? What is the answer?
Parent table.
Which is that table?
Product table.
Always I am telling you the answer, you're giving me in a different way. Always a dimension table. You have to tell dimension table. Only
Yes.
there are two kinds of table. Which table is loaded first? What is the answer?
Dimension table.
Dimension table. Okay. Now, if you have understood this much, tell me which table would change frequently? Fact table or dimension table? Fact table. Yes or no, guys? Because it is having the factual values. The dimension table is descriptive values. It will be less changeable. Next. Now, guys, if you have understood this much, then again we will go in depth. Let us just see. So a fact table is the primary table in a dimensioning model. A fact table contains of measurement, fact measures, foreign key to the dimension table. Any doubt till this statement?
No.
A fact table consists of what? Measurement.
Mhm.
So now don't tell me what is a measurement, what is a measure. Fact table, that numeric value, that cell is called as what? A fact or a measure or a measurement. And it also consists of what? Foreign key to dimension table. Am I clear with this diagram? Yes or no, guys? What is the foreign key column? Product ID. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
No. Product ID is in the parent table. What is the product in the fact table? This is the sales table, fact table. What is the foreign key column? Product ID. Yes or no, guys? Yes. It consists of key column and it consists of fact value. So there are two things in a fact table. Which are the two things? First is this key column to be joined to the dimension table and also consists of the fact values. Am I clear, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now dimension table, tell me, a dimension table contains dimensions of a fact. A dimension table contains what, guys? Dimensions of a fact. That means descriptive values of a fact table. They are joined to fact table via foreign key. Now how the dimension table are joined? They are joined to the fact table via the foreign key. Dimension table are denormalized table. What is denormalized table, guys? Can you just tell me? What is denormalization, Kirti?
Smaller table.
No. What is denormalization?
Small table combined into larger table.
Yeah, joining of a small table to form a larger
Larger table.
Larger table is called as
Denormalization.
Denormalization. So what happened, guys, here? The first answer is what, guys? A dimension table contains dimensions of a fact, and then they are joined to fact table via foreign key, and dimension table are denormalized table. That means what? Multiple tables have joined and form a bigger table. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now tell me the dimension attributes are the various column in a dimension table. Dimensions offer descriptive characteristics of the fact with the help of other attributes. Then that means dimension will offer what? Description of a fact table. So there's no set of the given of number of dimensions. There can be any number of dimensions. The dimension can also contain one or more hierarchical relations. Hierarchy here means we will learn later that dimension table can be further broken and normalized. Any doubts still here? Fact table consists of measurement, fact value, foreign key to the dimension table. A dimension table consists of dimensions of a fact. They are joined to the fact table via foreign key. Dimension table are denormalized tables. The dimension attributes are the various column in dimension table. Dimension offers descriptive characteristics of fact with the help of other attributes. No set limit for given number of dimension. Dimension table can have further hierarchy. Again, we will learn it is based on the differentiation I have made based on the parameter. So what is the parameter and fact and dimension table? Definition, it consists of measurement, metrics or fact about a business process. It consists of companion table to the fact table, contains descriptive attribute to be used as a querying constraining. That means it consists of what? It's a companion table to the fact table, contains descriptive attribute that will be joined to the fact table. Okay, fine. Now descriptive attribute to be used. Okay, now characteristics. What is the characteristics? Located at the center. Now what is this characteristics? I'll tell you later, guys. Now let us just see this. It means it is a fact table is joined, located at the center as a star and snowflake schema surrounded by dimension table, connected to the fact table and located at the edges of a star. And what is star and snowflake schema? When I will tell you, then you will understand its characteristics. As of now, design defined by their grain or its most atomic value, should be body descriptive completely and quantity assured. So the fact table is joined based on the means are defined based on the lowest value. What is this? I'll tell you again. Now the task is what? Fact table is a measurable event for which dimension table data is collected and is used for analysis, reporting, collection of reference information about a. This is just a reference information, the descriptive in the dimension table, but in fact table is a measurable event for which dimension table data is collected. Okay. Type of data: fact table could contain information like sales against a set of dimension table, product and date. And our dimension table contains of attributes which describe the detail of the dimension. Example, product dimension can contain the product ID, etc. Key, foreign key is mapped. Dimension table consists of primary key column that uniquely identifies each dimension. Now storage helps to store report level and filter domain values in dimension table, load detail atomic into structure dimension. Hierarchy does not contain hierarchy, can contain the hierarchy. Now guys, to understand what are the things I have written here, first you have to understand these 2 points and you have to understand the data model. So now to understand the data model, let us take this difference. Fact table consists of measure and textual information, but dimension table only consists of textual data. Here there are less number of columns, here there are more number of columns, here there are more number of rows, and here there are less number of rows. To remember, there will be less number of columns generally. So what you have to remember is, and dimension table is more number of column is LCFI. Remember like this, less column in fact. Here will be more column in fact. More rows in fact table, and here will be less rows in the fact table, just the opposite. This is vertical, this is horizontal. Primary key is a combination of foreign key from dimension table. Primary key is surrogate key. In dimension table, always remember this point is very, very important. 100 times I am telling you, 101 time I am telling you, primary key is the surrogate key column. Now they will sometimes ask, what is surrogate key column in a dimension table? Tell confidently that in a dimension table, what will happen is the primary key is the surrogate key column. Fine, guys. Now load
Vikram,
the.
there is no relationship between foreign key and surrogate key.
That's what I'm telling. The dimension table primary key is surrogate key. Foreign key in the fact table is a surrogate key. We are joining surrogate key to the surrogate key. Are you able to understand?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
So that normal primary key is not joined in data warehousing system. Always surrogate key is joined. I told you know that yesterday that natural key can be duplicated. Why? Because a person with ID goes to India, to US, to UK and everywhere. Then his ID is 111, which was unique in the database system. But in the data warehouse system, that is not unique. So system generated key is generated, that is called a surrogate key. So dimension table, which is the primary key, that is the surrogate key. And in fact table, the foreign key is again a surrogate key, and this surrogate key is joined to this surrogate key. Surrogate key of the dimension table will be joined to surrogate key of the foreign table of the fact table, and this will be treated as a primary key column. This will be treated as a foreign key column. Tell me any doubts? Any doubts, guys? Tell me yes or no. So this is fine, guys. Now the next thing is, after this, after this we have to understand, this is find out the sales amount by state person. This will understand. Wait, first we'll understand the data model. So now just say there are three kinds of actually data model. One is the star schema and one is the snowflake schema. What happens in star schema? One fact table is surrounded by multiple dimension table, that is called as a star schema. And what happens in snowflake schema? Snowflake schema, what will happen? One fact table, multiple dimension table, and this dimension table is further normalized. What is normalization, guys? Splitting of larger table
to smaller table.
table. That means this dimension or table whose name was dealer has been changed, further divided to location and country. Like that, dimension table is further normalized. Here, product is again normalized to variant. There's a galaxy schema. What happened? Multiple dimension table is joined to multiple fact table. This is a dimension table whose name is branch dimension. This is a dimension table whose name is date dimension. Now this two dimension table is joined to one fact table whose name is revenue, and this revenue is further joined to what? Dimension table. So this is a multiple fact table. Here also there is multiple fact table. Here there is multiple dimension table. Again, this fact table product is joined to this dimension, that is what? Branch dimension and date dimension, and again this fact is joined to this product. So the overall schema looks like a galaxy, so its name is galaxy schema. In Snowflake, the overall structure looks like a snowflake, so its name is snowflake schema. In star schema, the overall structure looks like a star, so it is called a star schema. So my question to you is, in a star schema or snowflake schema, how many fact tables are there? Can you just tell me how many fact tables are there? There are only, yes, Kirti, how many are there? There are only one fact table. Yes or no, guys? This is very
Yes.
important. Always remember that. But only in the galaxy schema, there can be what?
Multiple
fact table and dimension table. Yes or no, guys? No, guys. Now you have got some understanding of fact and dimension table. To make it more clear, again we will further analyze. So now you have got some idea. In fact, what is a snowflake schema, Kirti? What is a snowflake schema? Are you there, Kirti? I'm asking what is a snowflake schema? one fact table surrounded by multiple dimension table, and dimension table is further normalized. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Yes. And what is the star schema?
One fact table surrounded by multiple
Dimension table.
Dimension table. They
table.
will ask, guys, you what was your model in your particular project. So you have to tell the star schema, Snowflake schema, and Galaxy schema, multiple fact and multiple dimension table. Fine, guys. Now we will further analyze what is a fact and the dimension table to get a complete clarity. Let us just say. Now see. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
So what is the fact table? Order. And what is the
Order.
dimension table? Can you just tell me?
Product
Is a
customer.
dimension table, state is a dimension table, salesperson is a dimension table, and customer is a dimension table. Yes or no, guys? Yes.
Yes.
So now tell me, in this, which are the fact columns? Can you tell me in the order table, which are the fact columns? Order amount and order quantity. Is this the fact columns or not? Yes. And rest all are the key columns. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
You see, fact table is having two things. One is the fact value and one is the key column to be joined to the dimension table. Make it 100% clear. Okay. Now fact, these are the fact value, order amount, what are the order amount and what is the order quantity. Now, which are the key columns here? Can you tell me which are the key columns? Katie, which are the key columns?
Customer ID, product ID, salesperson
Sales
ID.
and so these are the foreign key
State
columns.
ID.
Yeah, these are the foreign key column. Which are the dimension table? These are all surrogate key columns. Now, remember, these are all surrogate key column. Now, this is dimension table. Now, in the dimension table, what is the dimension? Salesperson. And what is the key column? What is the key column? Can you just tell me?
Salesperson
Sales
ID.
ID.
Salesperson
State
ID. So if I want to join this salesperson table, this is a dimension table with this order fact table, how can I join? Using which column?
Salesperson ID.
Salesperson ID from which column? Which table?
Sales
Dimension
Salesperson
table will
dimension
be
table.
joined to salesperson ID of the order fact table. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
So if I want to join this table, how can I join? Sales state table. Which is the joining condition?
State.
State ID. State ID. And this is the state ID. This is primary key. The surrogate key columns is treated as a primary key column. This is not the normal primary key. Am I clear, guys? Again, I am telling. This is a normal, not the normal primary key. This is a surrogate key column. State ID. Here also state ID. This foreign key is, this primary key is joined to this foreign key. Again, how will this product table will be joined to order table? Can someone tell me? Which is the joining condition?
Product ID.
Product ID of the, till the complete product ID primary key column of the product table, that is the dimension table, will be joined to product ID foreign key column, that is of the order fact table. Similarly, for customer dimension, this is the customer dimension table. This is a customer ID key column in the primary key column, and this will be joined to the customer ID column. This is a foreign key column. FK is not written, but this is a foreign key column of the order fact table. Am I clear, guys? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Now your star schema is clear or not? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, you have understood. Now tell me, there's a query. Okay, find out the sales amount by state names. Find out the sales amount by customer, country and state. Find out the salesperson wise. So how can this kind of analytical queries can be written? Can you just help me with this? See, the question is what, guys? Very simple. Find out the sales amount by state name. That means sales amount is where, guys? Can you just tell me where is that? Is it in the order amount? Yes or no, guys? Yes.
Yes.
So now what is the query? Find out the sales amount by state name. And state name is where? Is it in the dimension table? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So now if I want to get the sales amount for a particular state, so what will I do? Sales amount. What I have to do? Sum of
Select
what?
sum of order
amount. Order amount. Okay. Based on what? Based on what? Based on the state ID. State name.
ID.
State name. Yes or no?
Yes.
state name. Now this I will consider as what? Fact table. So I'm just giving a name as F. Okay. This I'm considering as dimension table. I'm giving a name as D dot. Now tell me all these things from which table?
From order
Order.
F. Join what?
Join
when
state
state table.
D
Now joining condition.
on
F dot state ID
State ID.
is equals to
equals to D dot state ID.
Yes, state. I suppose underscore is there and give that. Okay. D dot state ID.
State underscore ID.
Then
Group by
group by what?
state name.
D dot
State name.
This will give me the correct answer or not? Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
What is the question? Find out the sales amount by state name. So for each state name, what is the sales amount? Did I got it? Tell me, guys, yes or no?
Yes.
If I wanted to get it by country and state, which are the tables I would have joined? I would have joined country also and state
Country and
also.
state.
So suppose I want to join the country. What will I write? Join which table? Country is not there or what? Country is not there. Suppose based on the customer and state. So what will I join? Which table I join?
Customer table.
So what is the join customer? Suppose this is a dimension table only. I'm writing the name as D2. Okay. On what is the condition, guys?
D2 dot customer ID.
D2 dot
Customer ID.
customer ID equals
F
to what?
dot F dot customer ID.
F dot
Customer ID.
then
Group by we need to include
state name comma what? Customer
country,
name.
Customer name.
So what I will write? Tell me. D2 dot
D2 dot customer name.
customer
And name.
name and then group by what?
Customer name also will include.
Are you understanding how to write the analytical queries? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Is it a fact schema or not? Yes or no, guys? Is it a star schema or not? What is happening? One fact table is going to join to multiple dimension table or not?
Dimension table.
Are you getting some idea, guys? Tell me yes or no. Yes. Tell me yes or no.
yes, yes.
Fine. Similarly, guys, there can be so many examples. Okay. Now leave that. Now, after you have understood this, so now all these things you have understood. Excellent. So now there are some types of fact and types of dimension table and all. Okay. So let us just study some things. Suppose types of dimension table. First we'll learn the definition, then the detail. So suppose a confirmed dimension is a dimension that has exactly the same meaning and content when being referred from different fact tables. So there's a confirmed dimension, there's a degenerated dimension, there's a junk dimension. So these are all what? The different types of dimension, guys. Okay. So now, what is a confirmed dimension, guys? Confirmed dimension is a dimension that has exactly the same meaning and content when being referred from different fact tables. Now, this is fine, guys. Now, a dimension which has same meaning in all the fact table. This is another name, another definition of what? Confirmed dimension. That means a dimension that has same meaning across all the fact table, like your time dimension. It will have the same meaning across all the fact table. Next is degenerated dimension. Now, what is degenerated dimension, guys? Degenerated dimension is a dimension key in the fact table that does not have its own dimension table. So degenerated dimension is a dimension key in the fact table that does not have its own dimension table. So this is a degenerated dimension, guys. What happened? The dimension key is in the fact table, but it does not have its in its own dimension table. Like your order number, invoice number, purchase number. Not detailed explanation, we'll see later. Now, junk dimension. What is junk dimension, guys? Is a collection of random transaction code, flags, and attributes that are unrelated to any particular dimension. So if a random transaction code, flag, and text attributes are there that are unrelated to any particular dimension, that is called as junk dimension. These are the definition, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. If you have understood the dimension, the definition, guys, confirmed dimension is just same meaning across all the dimension. Now across all the fact, and degenerated dimension, which dimension key is in the fact table. Junk dimension, collection of random or transactional code flag, that is called as what? Junk dimension. Now these are the now I have what illustrated and made it completely big, how to understand each and every dimension. So today we'll not start that, guys, but because that is the complete, you have to understand the type of dimension, type of fact table. Again, every example nicely I will explain you. So let's not hurry, and then we'll start it tomorrow, so that we'll understand the dimension and the fact and all those things. And then types of dimension, types of fact will be over. Then, guys, we'll start the BI report testing. I think by tomorrow this data model will be over. What is the date tomorrow?